Hey, my name is Chad. This video we are going to get my 6 Creedmoor brass resized so that I can make some of my own loads for my next PRS match, which is coming up in 2 weeks. It was supposed to be this coming Sunday on the 10th, but several people are going to be out of town that weekend, so we pushed it back to the 17th. So I've got one extra weekend to get ready, and we're going to try and run my own load in this upcoming match, see if we can do a little better. So I did some testing the other day, and so with this group right here, I could barely see the target. It was right at sundown, and that's not really indicative of how good this load is, but with this one here, I managed to put a flashlight shining up at the target so I could actually see what was going on. But as you can see, that's just one large hole. So I think that my loading is decent enough to be confident in a match. So what I've got is 55 cases that I have fire formed, and I've got another 45 that are still brand new cases, but with this type of group from new cases, I think I can be confident enough to, hit steel targets out to 1,000 yards with them. So what I'm going to use them for this is going to be the Redding 6 Creedmoor die set that I got. So this is their full length bushing sizing die. On here I've got the Whitten click adjust lock ring. I want to test this out and see if it actually works. So in theory I should be able to set my die into the press and get it adjusted where the ram comes up and meets it, and then lock the ring to the die, and then do an adjustment, and each click should adjust height up and down by 1/1000th of an inch. And then once I do that, set the other lock screw on here and have it locked in to the press. So I don't know, we're going to see if it works. It's a cool idea. If it does work, it'll be really handy on something like a sizing die where you need to get set and then make small adjustments down to bump your shoulder back. To get my measurements, I'm going to be using the RCBS Precision Mic. So this is a pretty cool little tool. You take your case, drop it in, twist down here, and it's going to give you a number, and probably hard to read, but with this number, it's telling me I'm right at 1/1000th over the 0. So really this is just used for comparison's sake. So I need to bump my shoulders back, 2 to 3 thousandths from where they're at right now. And this is what I'll use to get that final adjustment set. Now, when I was getting all of my die stuff ordered and supplied, I went ahead and got a pretty good selection of different bushings. And when I loaded up these test rounds, I took the outside measurement of them so I could subtract the proper way and get the correct bushing size. So based on that, I believe I need to go with a 270. So what we're going to do, get this die set up. So you take the decapping part of it out, and you're just going to drop your bushing down inside. And then take that rod. I'm not using the decapping pin or the expander ball on here, just because my necks are in really good shape, so I don't see a need for it right now. I'll do a couple tests. If I think I need to, I'll revisit that. But you want to get tightened down to where you can feel it, and then kind of back off a little bit. You want to have a little bit of a jiggle in there so that that bushing can wiggle around and get centered around your case neck so you're not smashing anything. Okay, so next step, we are going to just thread our die in. Now I do have a lock and load bushing that I've already inserted in here. Okay, now need to get our shell holder on there. Forgot I was using my shell holder on my amp. Okay. All right, so we've got that all the way up. So I want to come down and touch it. Okay, so they say firm contact. So that's making good contact there. So in theory, we should be able to tighten that ring down and lock the outer one here. They say it doesn't take much, but it does have these little set screws in here. And one of them is going to lock the ring to the die. And then the other one will lock the adjustable ring in position. Okay, so the majority of these cases are coming up here at a measurement of 2 lines above the 0. So that should mean that I need to come down to them so they're pretty much right at the 0. So 2 thousandths of a pushback on the shoulder. You know, if I get 3, I'm not going to be too worried about it, but that's kind of the goal right there. Now I do keep a selection of cases in one of these little 50-piece trays, and what I'll do, put some paper towels underneath, and then I just use that Hornady spray, get them all coated down real nice. So I'll do that. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to run one here, see what happens. This will be my first time running through a bushing die, so I hope I don't mess this up. Ooh, don't like the sound of that. Woof. Can't particularly say I like the sound of that, but you know what? I think I just remembered I did not put a little bit of lube up inside the die itself. So, okay. Let's just take a peek at this and see if we got any resizing done on here. I do have this little tool to check the necks. And before I did, they could go all the way up to the 240 or 241. So we did get our necks tightened back down. Now we'll drop here and see where we're at on our shoulder bump. So we got about nowhere. So let's see if we can come down. Get there. Now since I've already lubed these, I'm just going to do a little bit on the necks here. And the body. I just want to make sure I don't get anything buggered up here. That's definitely smoother. We've still got not a bit done. Okay, there we go. Now we finally got 1/1000ths moved. Took me about another 1,000th. Okay. So, see, so there's the 0 line. So as the 0 comes up, that's 0. So we finally got 2/1000ths. So I was stopping here. And now we got there. So that's about what I was looking at. My factory brass is like 1/1000th under the 0. This is almost matching up with that. And I've had good groups from that factory ammo. So now let's see if this is repeatable. We'll lock these the rings here. I will say I'm not noticing that I'm able to get this click adjust thing to actually click. So probably going to have to go back to the drawing board with this and figure out what I am doing wrong with this so-called click adjust ring. but I guess they're not all going to be winners when you try new stuff out. But since it does have some locking screws on it, I think I should still be able to get everything into position and make it hold. So now let's see if this is going to run any smoother. So yeah, I think that first one was just a dry dye. Boom, and that one's on 0. So I think we are at a point where we will get some consistent sizing done here now. Unfortunately, I've got 55 of these to go. So this right here is a Forster 243 neck tension gauge. So this is my fired brass. So you see it'll go up, typically up to that 241. And now my resized will not even start on the 239, which is just about which is just about exactly the same as my unformed brand new Lapua brass. So it'll start to wiggle in there. Oh, there we go. So some of them will go in with the 239, but not up to the 240. So I think with my bushing selection, I should be good. So we'll find out, but I should have some good grip on my bullets, and we'll see how it all works out. Do some more sizing on this stuff, and then we'll go test it out next week. Well, I think we've got the resizing die set. So I've got the 50 left to go. Got my initial 5 done, and I think we're off to a good start. So next, I'm going to get all of these sized up, put primers in them, drop some brass, or drop some brass. Yeah, we're dropping brass into the brass. Nope. Get primers in, and then we're going to drop some powder and seat our bullets. Get out to my range next weekend and test a few of them just to make sure they're going to stay in the same consistency that I'm seeing right now. Try and get my scope adjusted to this load and make sure I've got 70 to 80 of these loaded up so that I can compete in my next match on the 17th with them. So I'm very excited about running a match with my own loads. So I hope you stick around. Make sure you're subscribed. Just look down there. If you're not, hit the button, follow along. See how this whole project turns out. If you haven't seen one of these mics before, they are a pretty cool little contraption. They do also come with an attachment that you can insert into your bore of your rifle to get the distance to the lands, so you can properly determine your seating depth to be 10, 20, 30, whatever you want to be off the lands. And that's going to be something we're going to look at later. As of right now, my loadings seem to be working really well for consistency, so I'm just using this right now to set my die for my shoulder bump. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video, please make sure to drop a comment down below. I'll answer whatever I can. I'm still very new to this and learning every single time that I'm getting into one of these projects and trying to reload my own ammo. But I can say if you are new to it, just jump in, start giving it a try. You'll probably make a few mistakes, but you're going to learn a lot more doing it yourself than you will from watching videos. But do feel free to ask me questions. I really like to help people out there. Hey, I hope you liked watching me fumble through getting my die set up and get the proper shoulder bump set so that I can get my Fireform brass loaded up and use them in my upcoming match. I really appreciate everybody that watches my videos. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.